Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of Nothing Agreed. Unfortunately, AJ's not here because he's a loser and he has priorities, even though I have priorities too. Hi, Barron, how y'all doing? Just us today.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good. This is probably like your most favorite week so far because, the Eagles won and the Niners lost. So,
Oh yeah.
like the biggest Niners hater out there, as I'm the
I
biggest
would-
Niners meat writer out there.
I wouldn't say biggest. There's probably like some Rams fans or some Cardinals fans or even some Seahawks fans who probably hate them more than me. But I mean, I don't really have like a personal problem with the Niners. It's just their fans they're always talking crazy online about like you guys wish like your team was as good as ours. I'm like, I'm perfectly okay with my team. Like my team's beating the who they just lose to, the Vikings. Yeah, my team did beat the Vikings. So
True.
yeah, it's just nice that 49ers fans get kind of brought down to reality. So I enjoyed it.
Well, there you go. So, back to the one seed for you.
Yep.
My Falcons got the dub as well. Unfortunately, we're still searching for all three of the cast to have victories all on the same day.
Yeah, that's true.
Chargers bringing us down per
Yeah.
usual. So, guess I'll have to wait till another time.
Another day.
You want to swing right into the slate of games?
Let's get
that
into
happen?
it.
Well, first of all, I wish AJ was here because Derek Carr lost.
Yeah.
So, the Jags got it done in the Dome
Mm-hmm.
in Mercedes-Benz, 31-24.
Yeah.
And do you have any quick thoughts on that game or no?
I mean, I kind of said it last week. Like the Jaguars were gonna win. I just didn't
Mhm.
think the Saints had the roster to go up against them, and proved out to be true.
Yeah, it did prove out to be true. Kamara had a fantasy day and a half, though.
He
Those 10
did.
catches.
He did. He was putting in work, but not enough.
No, definitely not enough. Start Jameis Winston. I love Jameis Winston. I don't know why I love him as
And
quarterback.
bench Calvin Ridley
Why bench Calvin Ridley?
because he's on my fantasy team.
But he benches under. He makes money for the team.
Yeah, and not for my fantasy team.
Talked to Bijan Robinson owners this week.
Yeah. Whew.
Shit's crazy.
That was wild.
Bro,
yeah.
Vegas called so hard
You think?
because he had one carry at the end of the game for 3 yards.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the only people that are really getting like super upset about that outside of Falcons fans, because
Our sports
I mean,
bettors.
y'all won, so like I feel like sports bettor and fantasy owners are really pissed
Yeah.
because like a lot of people had started.
That's what I'm
them.
saying. It's like Vegas calls, so they get one carry, so they can't cancel all the bets and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, even if you're a Falcons fan, I mean, I guess you were confused, but like you weren't upset. Y'all won, so.
And now he had an illness, so we're getting investigated now, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
That is
Which
interesting.
I don't know why. I think it's stupid.
I think it is too.
I think it's stupid.
This is probably what happened. He probably wasn't feeling great leading up to the game, but was planning on playing.
Yeah.
And then maybe like an hour or 30 minutes before the game, maybe went to the bathroom,
No,
threw up or
yeah,
something.
like 30 minutes before the game, he was like dapping up a fan, and he was like smiling and all this stuff.
Yeah, so
I was like,
I
he's
mean,
good.
like, we don't know what the illness is and what's wrong with him, so you never really know. But I think he was planning on playing, and then it just took a turn for the worse. And
Yeah.
he just couldn't find it in himself. I mean, he did get out there and give it one rush, which goes to show I think he was trying to play. I just think that injury, but that illness was just too much for him.
I think it was a little too much for him as well, though.
But you know what? I feel like it's only the fantasy owners and the bettors that are really upset about that. I don't think it deserves an investigation.
No, it does not deserve an investigation. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go to 1 o'clock. We can start the Falcons game.
Okay.
I don't know how we won by 3. We should have won by at least 17 because we had 3 fumbles like inside the red zone. 2 of them were on the 1.
Yeah.
With the Ritter keeping it, and then the Drake London flip, and then he's at the 1, and they fumbled the snap.
Yeah.
We look like Clemson out there, bro. We look like Clemson out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible. The first time I could say maybe 10 to 15 years, maybe it's my lifetime as a Falcons fan, the defense has got us victories
Okay.
instead of the offense getting us victories. Our defense has been bottom half in almost every statistic for the last 15 years. We still suck at rushing the passer. I think we had 4 sacks last week. It was
That's pretty good. Yeah.
yeah, which is our first good, because at one point Khalil Mack 6 sacks that one game he had against the
5,
Raiders.
Yeah.
He had 6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was more because we had 5 sacks all season by then. So he did one more in one game than we had all season.
Yeah.
Pissed me off. But we finally got to the quarterback there.
But that's always a good sign though, because you want a strong defense.
Yeah.
Defense wins championships.
Exactly.
That's
We're not winning a
what
championship, but we're not winning shit.
I mean, I honestly think you get a service or a guy that can compete at quarterback in there, then you're looking at a serious playoff team. Maybe not Super Bowl contender. I still think it's really young, and obviously Desmond Ridder is terrible, but you get rid of him.
We're chilling.
You find a replacement. I think you're definitely winning your division and making some noise in the playoffs.
We're making some noise, but not like crazy noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good pickup, good win.
Mm-hmm.
Beat your B tier quarterback.
Yeah. Although I'm dying on that. Oh, I'm sorry. The year he's been putting together. I didn't watch all that game because I had a lot of stuff I was doing during that slate, but it didn't look bad to me. I mean, he missed a few throws, threw some bad passes, but like that's just Baker Mayfield. I mean, you kind of expect that a little.
Yeah, that'll happen with him. Threw a crucial pick in the red zone.
Yeah.
Or close to the red zone.
Yeah, but if you kind of take away that game and the game he played against the Eagles, I mean, he's definitely been playing at a better level this year, though.
True.
So, I'm still gonna die. I'm dying on that hill. And then once we're gonna go back and reevaluate that whole list at the end of the year, but I think by the end of that year, I don't think we'll have any issue putting him right there. Although we will probably have to move Jared Goff up to A.
Yeah, Jared Goff's kind of him.
Although I don't know
about this week. This week was
what happened to him that game?
38-6. The Ravens look like. I saw a thing where it was like you take away a couple plays, they could be undefeated.
Yeah.
I saw that was a good argument, but I think they moved up to 5-2.
Yeah, they are.
Which is, the top of the AFC North, kind of not running away, but. The Browns got a little fluky wins, and I don't trust them as much as I don't trust the Steelers either.
It's
really
unfortunate. It's just really unfortunate for them because they had such the rough start, and then I don't think anyone really expected, especially with Watson going down. I don't know if he played the whole year. This is probably where you'd think the Browns would be, but especially like the Steelers, no one thought they'd be where they are right now, even though they probably should not have won this weekend.
Yeah.
But. They are still ahead of the Bengals, and they are last in their division, which is looking to be a pretty loaded division. And we're about to get to the halfway point of the season, and as we know, that's sort of the point where teams they stop kind of making those careless mistakes in games. Mm-hmm. They get into their groove, their flow, they know what they need to do, go out and execute it. And those, as the year goes on, it gets harder to win games in the NFL. Ask anyone that plays, they will tell you that
the fakers and the makers will come out.
So I think for the Bengals, they're in a really tough spot, especially with an early bye like this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Good win for the Ravens. We'll get to the Steelers and Browns.
Yeah, big win.
Yeah, they killed them. So
yeah. Let's go to the Browns. They're also a 1:00 game.
Yeah.
39-38.
Yeah,
game went hell over for the Browns defense on a Gardner Minshew was looking good out there.
Yeah.
Couple mistakes from both quarterbacks, definitely, but a high scoring game. Did the Colts get robbed?
I'll say this. I don't think they did.
Really?
I know there's a lot of controversy with this week and officiating and how refs sold a lot of games. I think that's one of the games. There was that hold. Now, granted, that goes back to the whole argument of what is and isn't defensive holding.
Well, also it's like it looked uncatchable.
That was the other thing, whether it was uncatchable or not. I certainly think it was uncatchable.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
So I guess that's kind of it, but there was an obvious hold, so I feel like catchable or uncatchable rules are rules. So.
Well, I think wasn't it pass interference?
Oh, it was holding or defensive holding.
No, because it put them at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, but I thought they were already at like the 3.
No, it was at like the 10 or whatever.
I don't remember, but it was holding, PI, whatever. It won them the game, and I mean it was a penalty, so you can't really be upset that it was a penalty. But I mean, but it goes back to the whole what's holding and what's not, because I mean DBs commit holding almost every play in the NFL. It just comes down to the refs whether they want to call it or not.
Yeah, but it's also like how exaggerated is
that
it?
Is
like
true.
How much the jerseys tell.
Like there's definitely worse cases of it.
Yeah.
But it does happen almost every play. So
True.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
You hate to see it. If you're a Colts fan, you hate to see that, especially from a team that's been playing as well as the Niners and putting up 38 on their defense.
Mm-hmm.
Hate to lose that, but to be honest, I mean, that's just a better draft pick for you in the long run, so it can't be that upset.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not winning the Super Bowl this year, so who cares?
It's a good point. But I think they got robbed completely. I thought it was uncatchable, and then they almost stopped them on 1st and goal from the 1.
Yeah,
they got down to the 4th.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. I mean, yeah, it was holding. So
yeah.
like, I understand why they throw the flag, but yeah, I mean.
We got the Bills.
Ooh, yeah.
I said a couple weeks back, they always lose the games, or they always make the games supposed to win close.
Yeah.
And they lost this one.
Yeah.
Against the Patriots.
They always lose against the Patriots once a year at least. I mean, maybe not in a couple of years last year. But
was the game last year when it was like super windy and Mac Jones threw 3 passes?
That was in Buffalo.
Yeah. Was that who won that game?
Won.
The Patriots. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
okay.
The Patriots won.
Yeah, I remember that. That was
wild. And yeah, I mean the Bill Belichick always just seems to know how to handle the Bills.
I don't know why.
That great defensive mind it is,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean I definitely wasn't surprised by that outcome at all because I mean Josh Allen is definitely one of those guys that like you throw the pressure on him and he's making a mistake. So I think Bill Belichick knows that. I think every person on that Patriots defense knew it, and I mean you could tell from the way that they were trying to get to him the whole game. It just threw him out of it completely, and he made bad play after bad play. So
kind of part of it, but like I don't know. It kind of surprised me that like Mac Jones had the game that he did. Like he had a better bounce back, right? He came down 2-minute drill, won it with 10 seconds left. Like that's surprising to me after I feel like he's played worse defenses, and kind of shot down low and made some mistakes. So
right, and then again, football is entirely situational.
Yeah,
so
it's always different every game.
One good late game drive against a tired defense. I mean, anyone can, I think, manage to. If you play in the NFL, I think you can manage it to do that every now and then. Obviously, the greats do it time and time again. But yeah, like I said, that outcome really did not surprise me as much. And I feel like it did a lot of other people. A good win for the Patriots. I know it feels good to get another win under your belt, especially against a good division opponent.
Yep.
And hopefully this is a good start for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and the Bills fall to 4-3.
Yeah, they are.
So,
they'll be. I wonder how they're gonna.
I want to finish out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because the Dolphins are currently 5-2, and I mean although they have 2 losses and they're both, one's against Bills, one's against the Eagles. Tough road games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I trust them at home. Like I think they're going to be at least 10-win team, of course. They need 5 more wins, and I mean, again, Tyreek Hill looks amazing. So,
yeah,
Bills as a wild card team would be interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think because only one of those teams can win the home game in the playoffs. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, the Bills are so inconsistent, and they've just been winning the AFC East all these years past. So you've really haven't seen like that much competition for them in the playoffs early on. So they get to the second round, third round, no one seems to really care. So especially for a team that's trying to cement themselves in the top heavy AFC as a Super Bowl contender, not a good loss.
Well,
so yeah, I don't, if the Bills are in the wild card, I don't think they'll go to the Super Bowl at all. If they win the division, I can see it.
I think home field advantage is a really big
in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's major.
So yeah, I don't. If they get a wild card, I don't see them going to the Super Bowl at all.
Yeah,
I don't even know if they'll win the wild card round, but
true.
It depends on who they play. So I won't say that now.
Yeah, but they fell to that game. Interesting. How about Tyson Bagent?
Yeah,
getting a big win against the Raiders.
Yeah, he did.
I saw a statistic on CBS where it was like the Raiders have lost like some debut games.
Oh,
did you see that?
Yeah.
It was like Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
Right, that one game when he came head coach. Baker Mayfield as a Ram, and then this one. And then I saw one more in a comment where they lost to like Nick Mullins.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he came in like the Niners QB. Yeah, Josh McDaniels got to go. He should. I don't know how he still has a job. Mark Davis is running that organization through the ground, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's got to get fired. You got to trade Devontae. You got to trade your assets. You got to start over.
Yeah, I mean, you have the offensive weapons around Jimmy Garoppolo to make it work.
Mhm.
It's just he's old and he's not taking the next step. You know what you got with Jimmy Garoppolo, which is was a little it was weird when they signed him. I don't know another word for it. It was weird because they have Devontae Adams, who's considered a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL, even though he might not have the stats for it this year. A lot of people still consider him that. You got Josh Jacobs, who is coming off winning the rushing title.
Yep.
And you don't do that with a bad offensive line.
Exactly.
So
But he's also not looking good this year either.
That's also true. I feel like some of that's also coaching, and they did make a few line changes, I think, as well.
Still, though, like, I think
it's really that defense is so inconsistent.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact they don't have like a quarterback that can.
I mean,
just
Hoyer
take the
played
next
this
step.
week, but still.
Yeah.
Like, even without.
But like you're
Hoyer.
not getting much better. It's not getting much better with Jimmy Garoppolo. Like Jimmy Garoppolo, he might have been able to win you that game against the Bears. Yeah, but like it's the Bears. They're the worst team one of the worst teams in the league. Like Jimmy Garoppolo is not making a difference against when you have to go play the Chiefs. I think did they already play the Chiefs? I think so.
Who, the Raiders?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos play them Thursday night.
But yeah, you're gonna have to play the Chiefs twice a year, and Jimmy Garoppolo is not Jimmy Garoppolo is not winning you that game over Brian Hoyer. Let me put it that way. So unless there's like a big like name free agent that becomes available, I know they were trying to get like Lamar when those talks were going through, and all the other quarterbacks this offseason. They can't get one this offseason, then I agree with you. But I want to wait the rest of the season, because I think if you get a guy like, let's see where the Bears pick ends up. If they have the first, say they want to move on from Justin Fields, get another high draft pick, who wants to see what he looks like in there?
I see what you mean.
I mean, I just don't think it. I feel like they have the offense that they can cater to a certain quarterback. It's just not Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, I don't think it's.
And I think that was a bad sign.
I think you just got to blow it up in general. Like,
yeah. I mean, I can see that.
To me, like, I don't see the point of, like, the Raiders going for it with such, like, a mid-roster, you know?
Right.
To me, it's either you're either 3 spots. You're bad, right?
Yeah.
You're just not tanking, but, you know, you're not going to be there at all.
Mm-hmm.
You're young and you're developing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say 4. You're in your prime, right? Which is like the Niners, or maybe you're young and you're pushing for more, right? So I think the Falcons are like, they're young and they're like pushing for the playoffs, but they're probably not going to make it, right?
Right.
I would say like the Dolphins, to me, right, is like, I feel like on a team that's kind of on the younger side, but like pushing for really promising, and then like just a pure prime kind of old last shot is like the Niners, right? And then just a sucks is like the Bears, Raiders. Like I feel like the Raiders aren't that good. Like they're like, if you're stuck in this mediocre, like the Cardinals suck, right?
Right.
If you're stuck in this mediocre thing where the best you can do is maybe barely make a wild card, right? And you're like you're supposed to be at prime, but you're at old and mid.
Mm-hmm.
I just think you just gotta get your assets and move on.
Yeah, it's just again, I'm not a NFL general manager, so I don't know all the market values.
And I know there's more financial stuff that goes into it, like tickets, how much you need, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Try to sell it out, right?
I wasn't even thinking of that either.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like if you look at like Devontae Adams, you gave up all that to go get him to play with Derek Carr, and then you end up shipping off Derek Carr, which again I think was a mistake.
I think it was too.
So yeah, I feel like you're faced with this option like Devontae Adams. He's in the prime of his career. Some could argue he's probably about to enter the back leg of it.
He's entering the back leg of it.
So that's probably 2 or 3 more good years out of him.
Yeah, you have to get rid of him, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, I just feel like you're not going to get what you gave up for him.
You're not at all. No.
So I feel like if you see the opportunity, granted, I don't think there's like a obvious one right now, but like you see an opportunity to bring like he doesn't have to be like super young, but like a guy that's proven he can play in the league, like maybe Kirk Cousins, if he's on the trading block at the end of the year.
He won't be.
He probably won't be, but
he's just gonna be a free agent.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they could sign him if they really wanted to cut Jimmy G.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like that's one of those organizations. Yes, you put them in the bad scenario, but the only reason they're really bad, I feel like it's kind of like the Chargers almost, because record-wise, I feel like I feel bad because AJ's not here to defend them.
I feel like I could defend the Chargers.
But I feel like record-wise, they're 2-4. They've lost bad games. I feel like you put them in
What bad games have they lost?
I feel like the game to the Titans they lost was a bad loss.
That was a bad loss. That was on the road and overtime as well.
Again, I still think that's a bad loss.
But they lost. They lost to the Dolphins.
Right.
They lost to the Chiefs.
I think the Cowboys, even though the Cowboys was
good team. The Cowboys are a good team. The Cowboys are a better team than them.
I know that, but I still think that was a bad loss.
I don't think it's a bad loss.
I feel like
I feel like a bad loss is like the Bills losing to the Patriots. That's a bad loss.
I think that's a bad loss. I also consider like a game that you should have won, but then you let it win. Like, I feel like the Chargers. I feel like they definitely should have beat the Cowboys. They lost to
Dolphins, Titans, Cowboys, Chiefs.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Titans is the only bad loss.
I mean, yeah, like if you look at the other team, yes, but I feel like the game they played against the Cowboys wasn't like
they had a chance.
That's what I'm saying, and
but I don't think they didn't blow anything.
I mean, no, I don't think so either. But when you, I get, I'm trying to figure out like how I want to say this, but I really can't. Give me a second.
You're thinking like they had the game, like they could have won the game, but they made mistakes like throughout the game to sell it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Like they had, it's not like a late game and they blew it and that makes it a bad loss, but throughout the game they made mistakes.
Yeah. Like
okay.
I feel like watching that game, like
you could take like 3 to 4 drives and be like, they could have scored here, they should have scored here. Yeah.
Like that was a game that they had the talent and they put themselves in the positions to win those games and they just couldn't pull it out.
I see.
So I get whether you want to call that a bad loss. To me, I think that's a bad loss when you beat yourself. I guess.
I see what you mean.
So many mistakes. Like the Eagles game against the Jets, I consider that a terrible loss because I think we just beat ourselves.
Well, also you were like 7-point favorites as well.
That's also
against Zach Wilson too.
Also true, but
so like, I just think that'd be a bad loss in general. But I see what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we've established
that,
I'm saying if you. We can talk to the Raiders. The Raiders, I'm saying, oh my goodness. Yeah, the Chargers, yeah. So the Chargers, I feel like they're in this position where you could put them in the category bad because of their record and the talent that they have on their roster. I feel like it's the same with Denver. Like, Denver has a lot of talent, but they've underperformed, whether that be coaching issues or quarterback play, even though I don't really want to blame it on quarterback play.
I still think it's different, though.
I mean, I do think it is different, like,
I think the Chargers are the best team out of all of those.
I mean, I think they are as well.
I just think look, if you give them the Titans 4 times, I think they beat them 3 out of 4 times.
Okay.
And I think that one loss was like
the one chance.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So I think if you give them like you replace that, and I think they barely beat the Vikings too.
Yeah.
Right? But like they either win, every game's close. They win or lose close games.
Right.
So
not every game, but
they lost the Chiefs by 14. But like, again, that's one game where
that was kind of expected.
The second half was like you kind of shut down the Chiefs and you shut down your damn self. So,
but like what I'm trying to say is, I guess, is when you look at the Chargers and the talent that they have on their roster, it's like, and the record that they have, you wouldn't say, oh well, let's blow that up because they have like all the pieces around necessary to build. There may be a 1 or 2 away, I guess the Chargers are a little different because I think they're 1 or 2 away from being Super Bowl contenders. But I think the Raiders, in a sense, are a couple pieces away from being contenders within that division. Okay. Like, you get a good quarterback, you add a couple defensive pieces this offseason, you hold on to Josh Jacobs, hold on to Devontae Adams.
I feel like there's just so many factors there.
Yeah, and that's football.
Yeah, and there's age as well,
yeah,
and I just think that with age looming, like, it's not like a young team where you have to add a couple pieces and then you're going to be there, right?
Right.
Like, that's what I think the Eagles were 2 years ago, right? Yeah. That's why they made the big trade for A.J. Brown, right? I think Devontae Adams is a little bit different.
I think he is, too. Because he's definitely older, but I feel like you gave up this much to go get him, and as we've seen NFL organizations, they don't, or at least owners and general managers, they hate to admit, like, they made a mistake or they were wrong. So it might not make the most practical sense, but I still kind of agree with him in this sense. You gave up so much to go get Devontae Adams. I think you definitely messed up getting rid of Derek Carr, but I feel like Now it's your job as the general manager to go out there and utilize Devontae Adams to the best of his ability because you gave away so much to go get a top 3 receiver. And I think signing Jimmy Garoppolo was not the answer. And I just think it's a little. I think this year, we're 2 years into him being in Las Vegas. I think it's a little early to start saying, "Oh, it's time to get rid of him." But if we're looking at it next season and we're still at this point, then I think I would start to agree with you.
All right.
But I think we should hold out a little longer. But
I see.
yeah, that took a little long.
That did, but let's fly through this then.
Right.
So, Giants Commanders. Giants had to win 14-7. Little defensive game in East Rutherford.
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor, 2 pass touchdowns, no picks, over 200 yards.
Looked better than Daniel Jones.
And that's Daniel Jones has done that once since 2020.
Yeah.
So
$80 million, right, guys?
$40 million a year.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like 4 year 160?
I don't know.
I think it was 4 year 160.
It's something stupid.
Yeah, well, he did that. So shout out to the Giants, big win for them.
Yeah, it was good for them.
Then we moved to the 4:25 game. Seahawks took care of business in Seattle, 20-10
Yeah.
against the Cardinals.
The game was. I don't think that game should have been as close as it should have, but they didn't. The Seahawks didn't look super good all 4 quarters, but they got the win.
They got the
That's all
win.
that matters.
Home win, covered the spread. Good teams win, better teams cover.
That's right.
Steelers and Rams, a little controversy there
here
with
we go.
the placement.
Yeah.
Is that also getting screwed over?
So, I don't. It's hard because that one's. I do definitely think they got screwed.
Yeah.
But now, again, that yellow line, the lines they show on the TV, we all have to know those aren't the
most
official
accurate.
lines.
Yeah.
Like, that's not real. And the refs, when they spot the ball, they also, it's from where they think the ball was down, like where they see the ball down. So, of course, every time they spot the ball, there's error. There's going to be some percent error. That's just a fact. And then it's just kind of unfortunate when a game that it comes down this close
Gets chosen like that.
Yeah. And then as a ref, I mean, there's really nothing you can do. If you go back and look at the actual tape though, like with the lines and everything, it does not look like he got it. So I do think it was. I think with the evidence they had, I think they should have been able to overturn it.
Yeah.
And then we could have just had Steelers fans whining online about how it was a first down, and then we could have this argument in a better light. Because I do think that was the wrong call, but again, I think it's so hard being and like I'm guilty as myself as jumping on refs for making a call I don't agree with.
It is tough,
but it's so hard to make a call in the NFL, and a lot of these people that watch it and they get upset about it, like they don't understand like how hard that is. So
yeah,
I understand like I get the frustration because I've been on the losing side of those calls. Especially last year.
Everyone has been.
I was about to say a lot of people have, and then obviously there's people that have been screwed.
Hey, you weren't on it last year. If you're alluding to the Super Bowl, not true.
What do you mean?
Even your own corner agreed it was holding.
Oh, I know that, but it was dumb that they called it. But I'm saying because that's what I'm saying. they hold DBs hold every play. That's what I'm saying. It's up to the refs. It's up to the refs whether or not they want to call.
Well, the spot I saw all over Twitter like. Should have been short even without like the yellow lines, like they're like a video.
That's what I was alluding to. Like it still looked short.
Yeah.
Like so, I do think that was a bad call. And then upon further review, I think that should have been overturned. But
yep.
Again, it's hard being an NFL ref. So
very hard. It's a hard job.
Yeah.
Let's move on though. The Broncos got a win.
Yeah, they did.
They beat the Packers. I think the Packers only have 2 wins this year as well.
Yeah,
not looking good.
Everyone, they had a lot of momentum hopping out of this year. They won their first 2, right? And then
I think so.
They've lost every game since. Yeah.
Yeah, 2-4.
So yeah, they were looking hot.
They went 1-1.
Okay.
They went 2-1. They beat the Saints by 1. They beat the Bears by 18. They lost to the Falcons week 2.
That's right.
And they've lost 3 straight.
So yeah.
Will Lutz with I guess make it 19-17. So I guess he had the game-winning field goal at 3:54.
Yeah.
Slug it out game. Broncos defense. I know. I guess Jordan Love, so not the greatest, but still. Yeah. I think it's back-to-back weeks they held teams under 20 points because of Mahomes as well.
Yeah.
So, good for them. They did the job.
And the offense played better this week.
Yep.
Still looks like it's lackluster to what it could be, but looks better. So at least there's some progress.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Chargers Chiefs.
Yeah.
High-powered offense, or for both in the first half.
And then one of them went to bed.
Both of them went to bed, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, but at least the Chiefs scored.
Yeah, they scored once. There was only one touchdown in
Yeah.
the second half.
That's what decided the game. So.
I mean, it was a couple mistakes by each team, but yeah, Chargers made some bad mistakes as well. So Chiefs got another win at home, cover the spread, good for them.
Best team in the AFC right now.
And then you think so?
I'm talking about like statistically.
I mean, the Ravens are there as well. A lot of people got the Ravens.
I'm talking about the record.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. Like if you're looking at like talent, obviously you put the Ravens up there.
Yeah.
I'd still throw the Dolphins up there, but.
And then Sunday Night Football. The Eagles cheated their way to a victory, 31-17. So, yeah, if you want to talk about refereeing, that was some missed calls there.
Yeah, and then that's like the complete other end of this spectrum.
I wouldn't say you won completely off reffing, but you definitely got some good decisions up for you.
So, right, I mean, I've probably rewatched the game like twice now, so to get a good for this conversation actually, just specifically. So we actually had two calls on us, but they were both offsetting, so they don't count. One of them, which is funny though, the offsides that we had, what they called on Landon Dickerson, the left guard.
Yep.
Actually, he
It was not offsides. Yeah,
it's just Jason Kelsey's other arm.
Yep.
So technically, we only
Jordan
had
Davis
one penalty.
flopped. So
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter, my fault.
Yeah, he hit a guy and then flopped.
And then he flopped. Look at the guy learn the brotherly love.
Did you see his quote after that?
Yeah, learn from LeBron. That's true.
But yeah, that no call on the face mask, that was bad.
That was bad.
I'll admit that that should have been a penalty.
That was really bad.
From what after watching that play again, the ref was right behind it, so I don't know if he could have
seen the face mask.
I don't think he saw Bradbury's hand grab the mask. So again, no call, but ref didn't see it, so that's just one of those things. I think if he did see it, he would have called that. I don't think this is I don't think this is an active game against the Dolphins, but when I see a lot of people complaining about how there were no calls against the Eagles and there were all these calls against the Dolphins, if you look at all the calls against the Dolphins, almost all of them were offsides or false start. So if you granted, you can get upset if the refs aren't calling face masks and roughing the passers and stuff on the Eagles. And besides that one face mask missed call, we didn't have any plays like that. We weren't playing dirty. We weren't playing illegal. We played, and what has me and other Eagles fans so excited was we played an almost perfect game. Besides those couple of turnovers, is we had almost no pre-snap penalties, no offsides besides the one bad missed call by the refs, and no false starts, which is, I mean, that's just good football. That's what you want to see out of a football team. So yeah, I mean, I love it, but of course people get upset because a team with 0 penalties is unheard of in today's game, and people can't seem to fathom that maybe one team can just play a game so well disciplined. But I don't know.
I mean, I'll just say that the Eagles looked good. The brotherly shove was out to full effect in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, man, they were rocking with it.
I know. The funniest one to me was the second one you had in the fourth quarter on that drive where Sirianni called a timeout.
Yeah.
And it was they just hurry up quickly right into it and just immediately pushed. It was so funny.
I know. I remember sitting right here with AJ and he was watching this and he was and I think it was on the goal line. And they got stopped. It was 4th and 1. He's like, "Oh man, we doing a field goal." I'm like, "You know what team you're watching?"
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, "They do this for the."
It's like Jalen Hurts balls on the 1. It's that video with LeBron.
Yeah, exactly.
Jalen Hurts at the 1.
Fantasy owners.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, did you see the Vikings run it last night when Fred Warner just dove over?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they get that? I don't remember.
I think so.
Because I don't remember what game it was, but I saw another team try to do it this weekend and it didn't work.
Forgot what team it was.
I forgot it was too, but
I feel like the Giants do some bullshit.
it might have been the Giants actually. Now I'm thinking about it, but yeah, I mean they can't. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and talk about whether that play should or shouldn't be in the game because. But let's also get it clear. They're not going to take it out because the Eagles are unstoppable. The only reason they would or wouldn't take it out is because of the injuries report.
Yeah, I think it's because you got someone
the
that
Giants
squat 600.
No, it was the report was because the Giants ran it in week 2 and they had 2 offensive starters get injured on the one play.
Yeah.
So that's the reason they're investigating it. But I'll let you get back to what you're saying.
Yeah, like I don't think it should get banned. It's part of football. You know, down in the trenches. That's how you win the games. So
It's
it's generational center, and you got a generational dude who can squat.
Yeah,
Not generational. Dude can squat 600. This quarterback. So
he's a generational squatter.
yeah, exactly.
But,
So I mean, I don't think it's like overpowered. I think the coaching staff made a smart decision. You know.
Yeah, it's not. But like if you look at it, it's just a QB sneak. I mean.
In a way, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you have the you're
lot
getting
of people-
the push from the back.
Yeah, and a lot
as
of
well.
people, Eagles fans, I'll just say this to go against it, are like, well, Tom Brady did the QB sneak for 20-something years. And the difference between Brady and Hurts is literally actively just getting shoved from the
over,
back.
right?
Tom Brady would let it get it, and he would find the hole
And
dive forward for like 2 yards, right? So like it was.
I mean, there's part of it is finding that open space because you don't want to. Even with that push coming from the behind, you still don't want to dive head first right into a defender. But I mean, let's say they do take out the rule where you can't aid a player going over the line of scrimmage from a shove. They're still just going to run a QB sneak and get it all the time. Because like you said, Jason Kelsey's so good at it. The guards are so good. They're just good at like getting low, getting underneath the defenders. And Jalen Hurts squats so much, he can just move that pile with his legs. So, yeah, even if you get rid of the push from behind, they might not get it as much as they do now. Because I do think there are some instances where that second push is what eventually gets them over. I think there were a lot more of that last year, actually, opposed to this year. Mm-hmm. But they're still going to run it, and they're still going to be really good at it. So. It doesn't matter.
I don't think it's going to get banned, so we'll see.
4th and 1, 3rd and 1, it's going to be a QB sneak with or without the push.
I wonder the day if it'll ever happen where like there's a consistent way to stop it. So
I'm sure it's gonna get to the point where DBs are gonna be jumping over and just trying to grab them and pull them back. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not gonna work because they grab him and then the dude from behind just barrels him forward. So like,
right. So
it's kind of hard to do that.
It is hard to do it, and I've seen like some defensive ideas where the idea you got to get lower than the offensive lineman, but it's hard to do that off the snap. You have to be really, really quick.
You got to lay down at this rate.
That's kind of what they were saying. Well, I saw one person was like, just drop to the ground and then push up. Like, physically just do a push up and raise like the offensive lineman so the quarterback can't fall over.
It's an idea.
But I'm sure there's a lot more people out there and a lot smarter than the guys just on the internet that are trying to stop it. So let's leave it to them.
Word. Well, let's move to Monday night.
All right.
You have a big opinion on that game, so do you want to go off and say your shit?
I don't have like a big opinion. I mean, I always knew Brock Purdy was never as good as he was, or as he was proclaimed to be.
Okay.
I mean, look at the team around him. Like, yes, we're sitting up here this week. After 2 bad performances, I'm making jokes like,
you were saying the Niners are frauds.
Yes, I was saying that.
Why is that? What is fraud to you?
They're not the best team in the league.
Okay.
And that's because they have Brock Purdy on their roster.
I disagree.
I still do think they have the best like overall like roster, like talent wise, like in every position. But again, quarterback is so important, and I think these last couple of games have shown that how lacking they are there, and when it comes down to the big games and the big playoffs, and again, football is completely different than every other sport because one bad game, you're going home. So,
I think the injuries is really what's killing it.
I do think.
And when you're a right-handed quarterback and your star left tackle, probably the most important lineman, on your team,
I do think that was big reason.
Mm-hmm. And Debo was out too.
But I feel like that also kind of goes both ways. Not with Trent Williams.
Christian McCaffrey's also hurt, playing through an injury.
He scored 2 touchdowns. He's fine.
He's got a tear in his leg.
I don't care. He's fine. He put up 100 plus
Or
yards
oblique.
again.
Yeah, he put up 100 yards. I don't think.
Oh, he did.
He put up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
he had 22
all I
points.
know is he ran a touchdown and then he
Caught a
caught
touchdown.
a check down and then ran it for like 30 yards. But
Beast.
he's fine.
My fantasy running back, baby.
I know he is. He's fine. He might be a little banged up, but he's fine. But when I'm talking like you have the self-proclaimed the best roster in the league all around besides quarterback. Yes, Trent Williams, that is a big loss because he's considered the best offensive lineman in the league. And I don't remember how many they got. Did the Vikings get a bunch of sacks from that position?
I don't know, but at the same time, I saw a statistic where it was.
I know they got a couple pressures on there.
Christian McCaffrey, right? Even with not even passing with the running game, with Trent Williams averages 4.6 yards a carry. Without him, he averages 3.2.
Okay,
that's a big drop off.
That is a big drop off.
So.
Right, and again, we're not going to sit up here and say that injury wasn't significant, but again, you're the best, not self-proclaimed, but they're looked at as one of the best teams in the league.
Yep.
At the beginning of the year, I know you and many others said that they were the best team.
I still think they are the best team.
Exactly. And then they come in, granted, it was a weight game, but they're playing a struggling Vikings offense without the number one receiver in the league. And against a guy that, again, I know this is all jokes, but a guy that doesn't play well in prime time.
Yep.
Statistically, over the past couple of years in his career, he is not. I feel like and you just lost a embarrassing game. I'm sorry. I feel like if you're Brock Purdy, you have enough on that team.
I see your point 100%.
To win.
I see your point.
So I think, again, let me rephrase. I don't think the Niners team as a whole are frauds. I think Brock Purdy is.
Okay.
And I think because of that they are not going to get to...
And that's not going to make them playoffs in the Super Bowl.
I don't... They're going to go to the playoffs. And they still could...
Not far in the playoffs.
I think they'll go to the championship game.
Say it rematch the Eagles?
I mean, they could beat the Eagles in the divisional. We don't know what the standings are going to look like.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll... Again, they could lose to anyone, I feel like. And that's not a feeling I had 2 weeks ago, so...
I think, right, this is just my take from the game, right? I'm going to talk about the defense. So the defense gave up 22 points, right? 22-17 is the final score. If you got Trent Williams and Debo back, I think that offense puts up 24. I think they win. So I think...
But does Brock Purdy still have a stat line like he did?
Against the Vikings, like that stat line? I think he'll do better.
You think he would play better?
Yeah, because he has his left tackle back, best receiver, right?
See, again, I really don't think that Debo absence was
big
a factor.
Let's say it's not his best receiver, right? His pass, catching receiver, right?
Okay.
He's still dynamic. He's in the backfield, and it kind of takes away some plays. So.
Right, but I still feel like all the talent on that roster, they still have that ability.
And I see your point as well.
So I'm saying, again, I feel like the 49ers are one of those teams, yes, Trent Williams... That's a big loss.
Yeah.
Any starting offensive line loss for an NFL team, that's something that's significant. But I feel like at least 49ers, or at least their fans, they are one of the very few teams in this league that should chalk up a loss to injury, because they absolutely have the talent to beat bad teams with injured players. And again, I think if we're sitting here before last night, I think we would have all sat here and said the Minnesota Vikings are a bad team this year, especially with Justin Jefferson.
I see what you mean.
So,
and Jordan Addison had himself a game too.
Yeah, I mean, that game. I owe an apology to AJ because of that game.
Yeah,
I told him
his dog of the day.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
good Lord, yeah. But,
so,
but no, I think the Niners, they still have a chance. I think obviously they definitely have a chance to win the Super Bowl, and I still think they could, but I don't think those chances were as strong as they once were. And
okay.
I'm not gonna say that. I think that's a little too early to say.
No, go ahead.
I just said I don't.
First take it up.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't know if they make the championship game this year. I think that's a little early to say.
It is. It's early to say. It's early to say for any team, Because
someone
could go down or
not any team, but that won't make the championship game.
With those aspirations, most likely.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it's a little early to say.
Certain team for who?
I think you know what I'm gonna say.
What, the Cowboys?
Yeah.
I knew you were a hater, bro. I knew you're the hater, bro.
There it is.
There's the Cowboys.
No alarm clock needed, baby.
My hatred wakes me up. There you go. We finally made it out the slate.
Yeah, I think let's just move on to the next one.
You want to do the wild card or no?
I don't know if we have time for
I
that.
don't know if we do either. So
Was,
I think it'd be better if AJ's here. I like how we did the arguments.
I did too. I like that a little better.
I want to argue with AJ or you.
Yeah.
So let's just move on to week 8 then. The first game is Thursday night. The Bills play Bucks at home.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing the commercial for that, and I said, "Oh, another shiner."
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess with recent games, we don't know how this one's gonna go. I'm assuming it's in Buffalo.
It's in Buffalo.
So yeah, I would expect the Bills to win that game.
I got the Bills. I think the Bills will bounce back.
I love Baker Mayfield, but he's a B-tier quarterback for a reason, not an S tier. So I don't think he can beat the Bills. So. We'll see. I hope for a big night. Mike Evans, both my fantasy leagues. I need him now more than ever. So
yep.
I'll tune into that game. Yeah. But yeah, last week I thought that game would be terrible because the Bills were gonna win by like 30. But I don't know.
We got the Jags and the Steelers 1:00.
Yeah.
Thank God no. I'm done with London games, man.
Yeah, I can't. I watched like.
Sorry to my international listeners, of course.
Well, I'm excited. The Germany games are about to start.
Yeah.
Those are early too, though. I was about to say I only watched. There are 3 London games this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only watched one of them.
That was a Toy Story game.
No, I didn't even watch that one. I was
really
driving because I was.
I thought you said you had it on while you were driving.
Yeah, I did. Because me and one of my buddies, we went out of town for the weekend, and we were trying to. At least I was trying to get back for the Eagles game because that was one of the 2 1:00 games we play this whole year. Which
True.
Is stupid. So.
I only played 2 1:00 games this year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Only 2.
What's the other one?
Commanders.
Oh wow, that's this week.
Both of them are against the Commanders.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because every other game we play is either prime time
or 4:25
because we play on the West Coast, or it's America's game of the week.
Yeah.
So, like the Jets game is America's game of the week, but that should have been a 1:00 game. But yeah, so.
Hey, you lost in America's game of the week.
Yeah,
you lost when the lights were shining bright.
We lost when the lights. Someone get those lights
off.
Baby.
No, turn them off. They're too bright.
Turn those lights off.
They're too bright. Turn them off.
Yeah, no, I wanted to see like the how the Toy Story format would look.
Yeah.
So I was like, just pull that up on your phone while I'm on the driving through the Rocky Mountains on the interstate.
Yep.
Just let me look at that real quick. But, yeah, I only watched one of those, but yeah, we got Germany starting up soon. So
there you go.
But yeah, the other one I didn't even wake up in time for.
Yep. So Jag Steelers.
I want to say Jaguars,
but I'm also leaning Steelers for some reason.
Yeah, I mean that defense
home crowd, that defense, man.
Yeah, I mean
I feel like all games in Pittsburgh are just sloppy.
They are. Dude.
Yeah.
The Steelers are just they're such a boring team.
Yeah, it's a gritty defense. It's a sketchy offense. It's an environment where like the weather is never great.
The score is gonna be 13-10.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to say the Jaguars because they've looked really good as of late, but the Steelers always find some dumb way to win. So.
Mike Tomlin style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Steelers in that one.
I'll go Jaguars just for the sake of debate or opposition. But
yep. I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
I don't know who's gonna win.
The Battle of New Jersey. The Jets and Giants.
I expect the Jets to win that game.
I expect the Jets to win it too.
Because I think the Jets defense is the best unit on that field by a long shot.
By a margin. Well, I also have more faith in the Jets offense as well than the Giants offense.
Is Daniel Jones playing?
That's the thing. If Tyrod Taylor's playing, then I think it's closer than.
Definitely.
Yeah. But with the way Daniel Jones played this year, it's not looking so great.
I wouldn't, but I'm not a coach, so.
Yeah. You got the Jets. I got the Jets.
I'll take
the Jets as well.
I will never take
Battle of 1 and 2. Texans and Panthers.
Yeah, Texans are winning.
Think Texans are winning that? Yeah, I'm not gonna go too far on that.
Panthers haven't won yet.
You can win any given Sunday.
I guess you could, but I don't know. I mean, if any game they're gonna win, it should be this one. So,
True.
Give me the Panthers.
Give me the Panthers.
I'll take the Panthers.
All right, I'll take the Texans.
All right.
Patriots and Dolphins in Miami. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I think there's too good at home versus bad teams.
Yeah, and they already shredded them at New England. So.
They didn't really shred them. They only won by 10. It wasn't really like a shredding either. I mean, they struggled a little bit.
In the beginning, yeah, but once they found their stride.
I think they find their stride easy at home.
Oh, I think they do too. I'm talking about the previous game.
Yeah.
Once Miami figured out, like, even
That's
though
what
the
I'm
game
saying.
was close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're gonna hit that stride earlier than they will in Foxborough.
Yeah, once they hit it though, there was never like a point where I'm like, oh, England's gonna win this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Next is my Atlanta Falcons play the Tennessee Titans.
That'll be a good game.
I think it will as well. Ryan Tannehill is questionable.
I expect the Falcons to win that game.
I think the Falcons are going to win that one too. It's in Tennessee.
I still expect them to win that.
Hopefully Bijan will come back and be healthy from illness.
I just think y'all are a better team all around, despite the quarterback issues. And Desmond, I mean, he's proven that he can put together a few drives.
He makes some plays.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, the ball security is scaring me.
Yeah, and the Titans defense got worse. So.
Yeah. So I think this will. The over under is 36.5.
I feel like you could definitely air the ball out down there. Now.
I'm scared about Derrick Henry. What he's gonna do?
Nah, you got Calais Campbell. You got
Calais Campbell.
You got
we got
Grady
Jesse Bates, Grady Jarrett,
yeah.
AJ Terrell.
Yeah,
so
I mean, he hasn't done. I mean, what has he done on? Oh my goodness! He done that much this year? Already?
Who?
Derrick Henry.
He's had some good runs.
Yeah, he's had a few, but like I feel like I've only watched.
I've seen that nobody really wants to trade for Derrick Henry because he's on an expiring deal in this last year, and so the Titans might try to move him, and he doesn't have a strong interest. I'm sorry, I think the Buffalo Bills should trade for him. I think he's a really good fit for the Bills.
For sure.
Because if you have James Cook, right, kind of a speedy back you can use receiving, and you have Derrick Henry, right, bro, I don't know how the Bills are not making a play for that.
Just wait if DeAndre Swift gets injured.
Bro, shut up. Shut up.
I saw a comment. There's a comment that said...
Because they're all trading for these... The Titans are just the Eagles feeders, bro.
They're like our B team.
Yeah, I heard the Titans are the minor league team. The Titans are the minor league team.
But no, I literally saw a post because someone was naming every single Titans like all-star player that the Eagles have taken from them in the last like 4 seasons.
Yeah. And then who was on there? Do you remember?
I don't remember everyone because there was a lot of names, but I know. Well, obviously,
Kevin Byard and AJ Brown.
Kevin Byard and AJ Brown were at the 2 top, and then you had Zach Cunningham, who was in the mix, who we picked up off waivers, but he still was a Titan last year, and he's been playing well. And there was a couple other names I just don't remember off the top of my head, but the comment that was underneath it was so funny. It says, "I'm actually from the future. DeAndre Swift gets injured, and how he trades James Harden for Derrick Henry."
James Harden is crazy.
That might not be a realistic trade package. That does sound like something that could happen.
Bro, what?
Maybe not for James Harden, but maybe for like Rashad Penny and a couple picks. I mean, we don't really use them, so
true.
I don't know, but I like the Bills picking him up. I feel like if you're definitely a team. Because like if you look at all the teams that are in win now mode, the Bills are definitely like they're probably the shakiest.
Okay.
I feel like there's definitely, at least in the NFL right now, there's at least 7 good teams you could say are in win now mode.
Yeah.
And I definitely think the Bills, maybe aside from the Lions.
I just think like if Derrick Henry had established himself in a run game with the Bills, like play action would be so much better.
Yeah.
Right? You have Gabe Davis, who's a deep threat, right? Stephon Diggs, who's there, right? McKenzie, right? Yeah, and then you have Josh Allen's legs.
I'd honestly just pick him up just in case the Chiefs don't find a way to get
exactly.
him. But yeah, there's so many. I mean, what happens if the Dolphins get him? I mean, I don't think the Dolphins will. I mean, I don't think they do either. But they've got what's the rookie running back?
Kane.
Yeah, Kane. He's not on IR, but
he's out for 4 weeks. So
yeah, but he's missing time. Let's say next week Mostert gets injured.
Then I can see something, but I don't see it happening. I think the Bills.
I definitely think
if I'm the Bills, I'm ringing it up.
Bills definitely should.
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I definitely see the Falcons beating the Titans and get back on track.
Vikings and Packers in Lambeau. Vikings are 1-point favorites in Lambeau.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a toss-up game.
I feel like that's a game. Go Pack, go! I think that's what it is.
I would have said that, but
I just think Lambeau. I got the Pack. You know what I can see in that game? I can see our first tie of the year.
No, you know what game is gonna end in a tie out of any game. It's
the
gonna be the Carolina
and Texans.
Yeah,
I could legitimately see the Vikings and the Packers tie.
I could see that one too.
I could actually see them tie. I think I'm going to go with the Pack, though.
I'm going with the Vikings.
Okay.
I think they've proven to me last night they got what it takes.
Okay. Next, 1 o'clock, surprisingly. The Cowboys are at 1 o'clock. I feel like they always play 4:25, so.
Yeah, they're in Dallas.
But the Rams at Dallas, at the Cowboys. Rams have been had a little bit of a slide last week. Cowboys won.
I feel like I have to pick the Cowboys. Although it will be interesting because if they had Trayvon Diggs, I wouldn't give the Rams a chance. But
yeah.
Actually, I shouldn't say that because I didn't give the Cardinals a chance, and look what they did. So
true.
So yeah, a Cowboys team could always lose to anyone. Dak Prescott, we know who he is. That defense, we know what they are. I definitely could see Cooper Kupp getting his finding his stride. I feel like he played well against the Eagles, and then he played poorly last week. So I feel like this weekend we might see some of that vintage MVP candidate Cooper Kupp. So
yeah, I think Cooper Kupp's gonna have a big game too.
But I don't know if that'll be enough to beat the Cowboys. Yeah. I think what it really comes down to is how that Rams defense can contain the Cowboys offense, because there's definitely ways to do it. You gotta get pressure on Dak, which I think they have a very great weapon with, and Aaron Donald to do so.
Yep.
So I think that'll be an interesting game. I expect the Cowboys to win that game, but we'll see what happens.
Next, we got the Eagles and Commanders in the best stadium in the league in Washington.
Yeah, someone might lose their life that game.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to take care of business there.
I want to say so. Again, this is the team that beat our winning streak last year. So I'm not going to sit up here and say that we're going to beat the crap out of them, but we should. Sam Howell's been sacked the most so far this year. At a record pace, so with our pass rush, we should.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared about. Flying
back there, and Commanders' defense is terrible. I mean, if we played like we could play last night, or not last night, but 2 nights ago, which is the best football game we've played so far this year, then yeah, we should just demolish them.
Exactly.
But I don't know if we will. So
yeah,
I'm still picking the Birds.
I'm picking the Birds.
We'll see what happens.
Yep. Another 1 o'clock game. Wow, we have a slate of a
lot of
nine 1 o'clock games.
Tell me the Chargers play at 1.
The Chargers do not. They play Sunday Night Football against the Bears.
Bears, that's right.
What the hell?
All right, we'll get to that.
All right, Saints and Colts, last 1 o'clock game in Indy. Give me the 1.5 point underdog in Saints.
Well, don't be giving out dog of the day yet.
It's not my dog of the day.
That's good. I'm gonna go Colts.
All right, I see.
I like
your favorite team.
I like what they're doing.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, that is my second.
Steichen's had some good.
He's proven himself.
Yeah, he's doing well. So I like the defense of the Saints here though.
I do like their defense.
Yeah, I think the defense will do something.
Don't like their offense.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared about.
Especially with Chris Olave not playing.
Is he not playing? I got arrested.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to be playing.
Hey, I mean, you never know.
Sucks for me because now I got to go find someone to put on my fantasy team. But
someone else got arrested. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, dude, my fantasy team this year is actually so poverty. I'm about to just start trading all my star players for picks. No, we won't get into it. Right
for
now.
Picks?
Yeah, because
is it Dynasty?
We don't keep the players, but the league rolls over.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot y'all do that stupid stuff.
It's new this year. I've never seen it before. So I might do that, though, low-key, because my season's over now. If Chris Olave missed significant time, my season's over.
True.
So if that's the case, I might have to start unloading players for picks.
Word.
Regroup next year.
Regroup next year.
I'm already getting into the rebuild mode.
Yeah, I see. Then we got the Browns and the Seahawks. Ooh, 3-point favorites in Seattle for the Seahawks.
That'll be a good game. Yeah, I'm going to go to the Browns in that game.
I'm going to go Seattle.
Okay.
I like Seattle there. I'm scared about the defense, but I think the Browns will shoot themselves more in the foot in the offense.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair.
I think so, too.
Yeah. I think it's going to be 23, 13 Seahawks.
Yeah.
Something weird like that.
That could definitely happen for sure.
You got the Browns. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm pulling my ESPN right here.
You looking at your fantasy team?
No, I'm not looking at my fantasy team. Just thinking about the scores.
Oh, I mean, I got right there.
Yeah, I can't see it as well as you. It's okay.
I got you, big man. How about that?
Yeah, it works.
There you go. Next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs go to Denver. Little 7.5 point favorites. Give me the Chiefs, man.
Yeah,
I think this is gonna be one of those games where it's like, oh, they didn't cover at home, so we're gonna beat their ass on the road.
No, I feel like it was or for me it was like when you look at it, it's a divisional game. I mean, they played it. I mean, last week I sat here looking at Chiefs Chargers. I was like, it's a divisional game. Those games are always close.
Yeah.
Let me take the Chargers. I think they can get it done. So I'm gonna go with my gut. Chiefs by 30. Let's move on.
Chiefs are gonna win that game. Bengals and Niners. I think when I checked the spread, the Niners were 5.5.
5.5.
I could recheck it though. But
I can look at it right now.
yeah, go ahead. Chiefs, Bengals, or no, Bengals, Niners. I think it's 5.5. So
I mean, I expect San Francisco to win that game.
I think it'll be close though.
I don't think it'll be close. I feel like, let's say, because Trent Williams should be back next week, right?
I think so.
And then I don't know about Debo, but that doesn't matter. Trent Williams is back. You're good to go. This is a 49ers team that has lost 2 games in a row to bad teams. Your quarterback is performing horribly at this present moment in time. This is a game. They're at home. This is against a good team. They know it. They're not gonna linger on this loss. I think they're gonna show everyone why they are a top team in the league next week, and I think they win by 20.
Wow, it's a big prediction.
Yeah.
I don't have them winning by that much, but I think it'll be closer than you think.
Yeah, and then of course the Bengals are probably gonna upset them by 3 or something. But
some bullshit like that. Then we got the final 425 Ravens and Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens.
I'm gonna go Ravens too. I think it's gonna be a sea of purple in there. So.
Sunday night.
Bears and Chargers.
If only AJ were here, he should be ecstatic right now.
I got the Bears.
Alright, don't.
I'm kidding. I got the Chargers.
Don't do it like that.
I got the Chargers.
He's gonna hate the fact that we're both picking the Chargers, but
I got the Chargers.
Let's put it this way: if the Chargers lose to a Division II backup quarterback and the Bears, Brandon Staley needs to be fired that night.
Brandon Staley should already be fired.
Oh, I know. I'm talking about. I'm being so dead serious right now. If they lose that game, Brandon Staley does not have a job by Monday. Or that organization's a joke. But that's a game with the struggles that you've been having this year. I mean, you can say Mike Williams, but it really hasn't been injuries this year. It's just been bad play. So the struggles you've had this year, the bad record, bad loss against the Titans, and the mistakes against the Cowboys. This is absolutely a game you have to win. You are at home under the Sunday Night Football against a Division II quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'm being so dead serious. If you lose this game, it's time to blow it up.
I wouldn't say blow it up.
No, obviously that's an overreaction.
Yeah, fire him.
But if they lose this game, someone needs to lose their job.
It's Brandon Staley. He's got to go.
Something's got to change that night.
Yep.
Or the season's over.
And then
the season might already be over. But we'll get into
all
that.
the primetime games have big spreads. Raiders at Lions. Yeah, give me the Lions.
Is Jimmy Garoppolo playing?
I don't give a hell who's playing. Give me the Lions, man. They're gonna bounce back.
I think so.
Yeah. So they're gonna bounce back. You want to do dog of the day?
Yeah.
I guess we'll just figure out what AJ's dog of the day is. He'll text us.
Yeah. So we'll just have to update y'all next week.
Next pod, yeah.
For maybe on the NBA if we record that later this week.
Yeah, we'll do it early. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean this kind of sucks that he's not here. He should be ecstatic right now.
Because he should be doing his little
not even that. He should be dancing around.
Yeah, because he won.
In second place.
Yeah, I'm down to third.
Yeah. His strategy finally paid off.
It did.
He got lucky.
Yeah.
He picked the Vikings.
He did.
So, what's that? That leaves me 13.5.
13 flat.
13 flat.
6.5 for him, 2.5 for me.
Yeah. It's not looking like a Derek Carr jersey coming your way.
Oh my God! Stop.
You gotta pick something here, buddy.
All right, team I'm gonna go with is, I think this game's actually gonna be a shootout.
Okay.
And I think what's gonna be the difference is the wide receivers.
Yeah.
And I think Cooper Kupp is going to have that game.
All right.
I'm going to go with the Rams. I think the Rams are going to do it. So, I think Cooper Kupp's going to have a big game. I think Puka's going to have some catches that are going to surprise once again like he did this week. For some reason I got Dak falling in some pressure. So, give me the Rams 6.5 dogs. I think they're gonna bounce back as well. So give me the Rams.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of big spreads this week.
There are.
Crap. Yeah. This will be
AJ's feasting tonight, man.
This is AJ's favorite week of the year.
Honestly.
And you know what?
You're gonna go with one yourself?
What's up?
You're gonna go with one yourself?
What do you mean?
A big spread?
Of course I'm taking. On a week like this, I'd be silly not to.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna pick a team. I don't think it's out of the question that they should be able to win this game. They're definitely going up against a team better than them.
Yep.
A struggling team that's better than them. Mind that. On the road, but I think road games, when the lights shine the brightest, I think some of these teams sneak up and they grab them.
Okay.
Let me take the Buccaneers at plus 8.5.
Wow.
Thursday night.
Okay. Well, 8.5. You think the Bills are gonna choke again?
I don't think it's necessarily gonna choke. I just think, I don't want to say Madden curse has anything to do with it, but Josh Allen's just looked worse this year, compared to his last.
Yeah.
Besides his rookie year, that was terrible. But ever since he's been solidified as a star in this league, this is probably his worst year on paper. Mm-hmm. The chemistry of that team just seems off, especially in the red zone. It just seems like the ball's always being forced to Diggs. Tampa Bay, they have a good defense. It might not be stellar, but I think it has the capability to slow the Bills down. And I think Bills, like you said, Bills struggle against teams they shouldn't struggle against. They do usually pop out big primetime games, but I don't know. I think this is a different Bills team. I think it's a different year for Bills fans. I hate to say it, but I feel like your window of opportunity, I don't think it's closed, but it's definitely gotten a lot smaller.
Okay.
And I'm rocking with B-tier Baker, baby.
Rocking with B-tier Baker. Wow. We'll have to text AJ and see what he has, but he's gonna pick a big spread, of course.
He'll probably pick the Bengals.
Yeah, he will pick the Bengals.
But he'll pick the Bears.
That's crazy.
I promise you, that's what he'll say.
Bet.
All right, you're a gambler. What are the odds he says that?
I'll put $1 on it.
$1?
Did he'll say the Bears?
That he'll say the Bears?
I'm saying he won't.
I'm saying he will.
All right. Camera shake on the pod. I think that's a good way. You want to end it like that?
Yeah, let's end it
like that. Thank you all for tuning in for another episode of Nothing Agreed. Thursday, most likely, we'll have an NBA pod.
Yeah, unless we have a ton of exams.
Yeah, because I got exams, so we'll see how much.
Yeah, I got some stuff going on.
Yeah, but most likely we should be able to push something out.
I was about to say, do you have an exam on Friday?
No, I have one tomorrow, which is funny.
I have one tomorrow and Thursday. So
yeah, so I'm doing that. So
yeah, we're fine.
But that's we'll wrap it up for Nothing Agreed. Hopefully AJ can somehow manage to get back Thursday, but I don't think he can.
We'll see. He's going through a lot of classes.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of exams.
Yeah.
But if not, we'll be back to us too, and we'll talk some NBA.
Yeah, we're kicking off the new season.
New season tonight.
Let's go Hawks big season.
Hawks, we're gonna finish near the play-in.
Yeah, my Heat, we're kind of looking to repeat this year or get back to the finals.
Your Heat.
Yeah. I'm a Jimmy Butler fan.
Take your drugs off, bro. Take the drugs off. Sixers fan at heart. Shut up. Where the Sixers finishing?
Last.
15th.
No, not 15th, but last of anything that's important.
Okay, word. So 15th in the standings, because that's important.
No, I mean, we'll be third in the East, but last of the good teams, so it doesn't matter.
All right, well, there you go. I don't know what that means, but
it just
figure it out.
It means we're not going to do jack shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Always. So what's the point of even
True.
watching?
Well, let me wrap it up officially, because I've been wrapped up 3 times, bro. That's funny as fuck. Thank you all for listening to that episode of Nothing Agreed. Barron, myself, Ghost AJ. Thank you all for listening, and peace.